Hey guys, and welcome back to the Changing Earth podcast. So I know last week I promised you that we'd be doing a live show, but because of the amount of work that goes into each show and my desire to be technology free for a week while I'm on vacation, I decided to do 2 rerun episodes, went into the archives, dug out some goodies. Unfortunately, that means we're also going to miss out on a couple weeks of Changing Earth news. We've had some solar activity coming back, so we need to keep eyes on that. Go ahead and stay tuned in to Suspicious Observers while I'm gone. And we've had some interesting political stuff going on. Of course, I don't like to get into it, but there comes a time when we all need to think about what we're doing in this country. And what right now is kind of one of those times. So hopefully, we had some crazy weather over this past week. 90-mile-an-hour winds, had some damage at our house. So hopefully you all are safe out there. I know it's been a rough week here in the States with storms and everything, and we've got just more on the horizon. So just prayers for everybody that you're out there, you're safe. But this is a great episode. Chin's with me on this one. Alan's here, and we're talking caps and powder. What a great conversation. And I really learned a lot, actually, when I did this episode. So I'm happy to bring it back to you again. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the show.
Welcome back to the Changing Earth podcast with author Sarah F. Hathaway and co-host Chen Gibson. Blending survival, fiction, and fact to bring you entertaining education that will help you dream, survive, and thrive. And now, here's your host, Sarah F. Hathaway and Chen Gibson.
Hello, and welcome back to the Changing Earth podcast. This is episode number 341, and we are checking out Little House in the Big Woods again today. Hey, Chin, what's up?
Hey, Chin's up.
So I was going to say like what chapter number we're on, but it gets a little confusing sometimes because there's like the side story, like little chapters. And so I don't know. This one's called Long Rifle or The Long Rifle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there was like the story of Grandpa out in the woods with the panther, which was really,
that was a good one.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. I would be, solid gold Twinkie coming out. But and then like the panther stays on the horse till he shoots him off of it. Oh, that's crazy. I'm just being
Never go out without your rifle.
Yep. Yeah, he did. He's paying for that one. So yeah, we're gonna be talking a little bit of rifles today. And panthers, panthers, cougars, mountain lions, same beast, different area of the world. So we had many mountain lions in California, and it was a little uneasy sometimes. We were out for a hike one day, and we came across a fresh kill, pretty much, And I'm just with the boys, and I'm like, okay, I think it's time for us to turn around and go a different direction, like right now, because they'll leave it and come back for it.
Did you have your dogs with you, or a dog with you?
I believe I did. I think I had Sawyer with me at the time. Yeah, because
you hate to say that, but
yeah, and they know. Like that's one of the reasons why I love big dogs is because they tend to know like what's up, and and provide that protection for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So I found it very interesting. A few things when she was talking about the long rifle that Pa had, and this chapter was really all about that rifle and making bullets. So Pa had that long-handled spoon, and that was for melting the lead pieces, and then the box with the lead pieces, and then the bullet mold itself.
Yep.
So I'm sure they had to like buy the lead at like the general store or whatever.
With the furs, probably, right?
Yeah.
You'd go into town with a big old pile of furs and come home with stuff.
Yeah, true. So yeah, they would melt the lead in the big spoon, pour that in the mold. You wait a minute for it to cool. Out pops your little ball. And then he would trim it with his knife to get and save, of course, all the lead trimmings. Right. I saw a funny meme the other day, and it was like, you're about to find out why Grandma used to wash the Ziploc bags and the reused tinfoil, right? Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, that's truth. I spent a bunch of money on groceries this weekend because I was like, well, we might as well get them while they're this price, right?
Yep. Self-insure.
Yep. I'll let you know how that bread, I'm going to do that bread starter too that we talked about last week. So I'll let you know how that goes. For sure. It just sounds fun. Sounds like a cool science project to do with the boys too. Right? Let's see if it grows. So cleaning the gun. Pa used the cloth on the ramrod, of course.
Did you cringe when he cleaned the gun?
With the hot water?
Yeah. I'm like, oh my
Yes.
God, don't pour water down your barrel.
Right? I was like,
Yeah.
what is that? Hot boiling water down
it made
the barrel.
sense now, but I was like,
I didn't get a chance. It's not where my research focused either. So I didn't get a chance to like research the logic behind that and the hot water to make sure that it dried faster and everything.
yeah, that's why. Yeah, it's got to be like scorching hot water, so it evaporates real quick.
Oh, okay. I could see that. But
Yeah.
man,
I know,
and
right?
when
I
I was
freak out when I bring mine out and it starts to drizzle.
right, yeah, and
Gotta
it's
come
outside.
in and wipe it all down, and yeah.
I was in the same boat. I was like, I don't know about that. I do know that the black powder that they were using back then, because we have like
Corrosive.
the smokeless powder, but the black powder is just way thicker. It left a way thicker residue,
Much more corrosive, yeah.
on the weapon. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
mean,
they would keep pouring. They would pour it,
keep ramming it through there.
Yeah, the cloth through it, the pour it again until it finally came clean.
Yeah, I was like, what? And that's not getting down into the trigger mechanism, like, and rusting everything out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we'll have to get a hold of James Yeager. He'll be like, no, no.
Well, I mean, it's a whole different.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we got to
I mean,
look
they
for
didn't-
a black powder specialist.
And I'm
to,
sure-
like, explain this
Well, if
stuff to
they
us.
use caps, the trigger mechanism is probably all on the outside.
Well, and they didn't
Right? 'Cause it's
have. It was all on the outside. Yeah.
It was just a hole where the
Mm-hmm.
fire from the cap would ignite the powder.
Yeah, and
so.
shoot through there.
Yeah,
Right.
it wasn't like an AR with that whole like.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. With springs and all the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they didn't have the cleaners. Like, we have a
No,
cleaner nowadays. So, like, it's a chemical compound.
He
right?
wiped
So
it
you're-
down with oil though. So.
Right. And that's your rendered, what Ma was
Yeah.
rendering, that grease. That's what you're using to clean it. And, I mean, that's where we would be if depending on how much oil you stock up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's basically where you're going to be unless you have a way of producing oil post-collapse. So, Nicole Appelian had said that about olive oil. I think I've said this on the air a lot, but yeah, to use the animal grease instead of the olive oil. So, and then of course loading, he always loaded his weapon because it took a long time to load, right? So
Yeah.
you want to have it ready to go, which yes, it creates a little bit of danger, but
Above the door, right?
yeah,
Sword
but
above the door.
right above the door, the kids aren't going to be able to reach it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So he'd measure out the powder from the cap, pour it in the barrel, then you
Yep.
put your grease patch down on top of that, the ball with the ball, ram that sucker down. And I've seen a lot of black powder rifles, and the flintlock to me always seemed like, I thought like all of them were flintlock for some reason. But-
No, they're the caps.
Yeah, and
Most of the modern ones are caps.
she's already talking about caps.
Mm-hmm.
Back here, and this was early 1900s when this
Yeah.
was all written and published and whatnot. And I was like, wow, that I didn't realize they had primer caps even back then. I thought it was like something that was newer so that you didn't have to use like the flintlock type stuff anymore. But no, they actually had them. The early 1800s is when they developed chemical type primers.
Mm-hmm.
I found that really, really interesting. So, of course, where do I start researching? Like, well, Because my friend had a black powder gun and he bought it for like post-collapse scenario because then you could shoot always, be able to make your own powder and everything. And I'm like, well, what about the caps? How do you make like the caps? Where are you going to get those?
Yeah.
So you can buy like 1,000 of them for $75. So if you're planning on, right, if you're planning on like black powdering it post-collapse.
That's better than 22 rounds.
Exactly. I was like, okay, there you go. If I'm you, I'm probably just going to buy like 3,000 of those things right now and call it a day, you know. Right. But you can make your own primers. I found this out. So there's legalities to this, people. A lot of legalities to this. So you're allowed to
do your own research.
Yeah, do your own research. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. We're just going to have a conversation
anything here on this show.
Right, exactly.
It's all historical.
And like, yeah, we're pondering. It's just a thought exercise. So there are significant legalities. You are allowed to make your own primers. However, you can't give them away or sell them. There's federal laws all over that. There's also legal restrictions to some of the chemicals and whatnot that you need to make them. So, and that varies by state, how much you're allowed to have on hand and how you have to store those chemicals. And then there's laws about making primers in your home, your garage, or your external workshop. More so than doing it at a commercial space. So that's one of the things that you really need to look into with like some quality legal assistance if you ever are going to do this for like practice or whatever. And then some of the chemicals that they use to make like commercially available primers are actually not legal at all. So you cannot buy them and use them. Okay. So now that we have the legals, hold on one second. I'm going to bring Ellen in. She wanted to come on the show today, and we're always happy to have Ellen. So let me grab her real quick. But yeah, so, and a lot of these chemicals as well are very, very dangerous. So there was cautions all over about, storing these chemicals and that kind of thing. So...
Hey, you hear me?
Yep, we got you. All right, Sweet. So we're already kind of knees deep talking about how to make your own primers for cartridges and things like that. But for caps for black
powder.
Yeah, for black powder.
Oh yeah.
So I was explaining these chemicals. Probably not allowed to have them at all in Australia. You can just check that right off the list. I'm probably allowed to have them here in Texas, but maybe.
Yeah, you can't even get reloading equipment right now.
Yeah, there you go.
You think the ammo situation is bad in America? It's 10 times worse here.
Fair enough. No Russian ammo going around right now either.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys are going to do this, I don't have the document to tell you on the air, but I will find it again and put it up. Because it was actually pretty interesting. So flintlocks were really unreliable. And especially if it was raining or it was damp out, which of course, right? Once the powder gets wet, it's not going to be as effective. So they first made percussion caps in the early 1800s, and they were widely used until the end of the Civil War. They were typically copper, partially filled with mercury fulminate, and other chemicals. So how about that? 1800s. Did you know that they went back that far, Chin? I didn't have no idea.
I did not.
I did not either. I thought it was like flintlock up to like, I don't know what I was thinking, honestly. So in 1857, that's when they came out with the self-contained metallic cartridge designed to put a primer in for a deformable hollow rim, which is your 22 short. And yeah, and the 22 short is still commercially available. It was first developed in 1857. I was like, yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
There you go.
I know. I
think I saw a Sears and Roebuck ad for that when I was looking for doing looking around for stuff for the show today.
Really?
There was a Sears and Roebuck, for it was a little 22 round.
Wow. Yeah, I had no idea it was that early. So all calibers used to be designed with the rim fire. But because you were limited to the amount of internal pressure you could create in there, you had to have the rim what had to be, easy to break down. So it limited the amount of internal pressure you could get put inside of the bullet. That's why they went to a center fire model, which was so many. Oh, it's good learning day today. And then they made it so that you could remove the primer. So it was just more easy to reload. So cowboys, they were actually out reloading their old bullets, saving the casings and reloading them even back in the day. Really interesting stuff. And then your primers that you use, like even when we were reloading shotgun shells for trap, we just get rid of the old primers, right? But you can actually take those and reuse them, which I found really interesting. But they need to be really properly clean and prepared. You got to take the dimple out.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you get that where the hammer hits it, you get the little mark.
Right. And so you're still going to be able to see the mar, but if you hit it again from the backside, it'll take that dimple out and you can actually reuse them. So that was really interesting. So you can actually make a primer from the toy caps. For the cap guns?
The red ones? The little red?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They have a way of making primers, refilling your old primers with the material, like from 8 of those little caps. You refill the primer with it, put it back together, and boom, you can use that primer to actually shoot again.
There you go.
Right? I know.
You can hardly find those things anymore.
I know, right?
Yeah, and they have to be German made. They can't be the ones from China. He was like, don't even waste your time on the ones from China. But the ones that are made in Germany are really high quality, and they'll work a lot better. So, of course, there's a failure rate there because, this is like winging it if you had to, right? And you can also refill your primers with the material from the Strike Anywhere matches.
Yeah.
And you want just the white stuff off the tip of it. And you fill it. It takes like 4 matches or so to fill up one primer, but you can use that material inside of a primer as well to remake a primer.
It'd be one thing to use that for hunting, but could you imagine, like, depending on
it when your life's on
your house?
Well, if you had nothing else,
I guess
maybe in a pinch. I mean, I'm still going to have my Eskrima sticks and all my martial arts knowledge and all that too. But
knives, arrows,
right? Yeah,
I need a bayonet on the end of my rifle.
That's true. The bow might be more reliable at that point. So, but both of those items, you're not going to get on any kind of a government watch list with those items. Now, there's another chemical. It's called H-48. And if you order that, you probably will be on a watch list. And most of the other chemicals that you need to actually produce primers are really volatile, really dangerous, and you probably will end up on a government watch list. But you can do it. So I found that very interesting. It's like, how do you deal with it after, everything's gone? What do you do?
Well, you need to go back to the flint and steel.
Right, but if you don't have a firearm that's designed to do that, then you're in the same boat, right? Now all you have is a club without ammo. I mean, right? So, okay, so then it went into, of course, making gunpowder. And if you can believe it or not, WikiHow had an article on this. I'm like, I got to check this out because, WikiHow, right? But it's actually much easier than you think to make gunpowder. You need saltpeter, which is potassium nitrate. And they used to get it from like bat guano or horse urine. But it is the material the chemical that they use in stump remover. So if you're at a hardware store, the stump remover will say saltpeter, niter, N-I-T-E-R, or potassium nitrate on the back. That's the one. You can buy it online, Or cold packs actually have potassium nitrate in them, like the cold packs that you buy to put on wounds and stuff. Alternatively, if you want to make it yourself, you can do that from your own urine. So this was interesting. So you fill a drum that has been equipped with a drain and a valve and a filter at the bottom, and you urinate into it. You top it off with water. You wait 10 months, and then you dry it on trays. And what you're going to be left with is saltpeter, or that's, potassium nitrate. So that was...
Start now.
Start now, because you might need it later. So that's what they used to use horse urine, right? Because horses go a lot of... They pee a lot. So there you go. And you need charcoal. Charcoal, you can just buy it at your store. You can use a standard grade charcoal. It works. You're going to if you want to make it yourself, get a metal drum, fill it with willow or another type of wood, and then put the drum on the fire with a loose lid just for airflow. And you keep it on the bonfire for about 4 to 6 hours, and you'll have beautiful charcoal inside your drum.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you need elemental sulfur. And so elemental sulfur is used to acidify soil, and you can find it just at any garden store, and it's mined in Texas, Louisiana, Italy, and other places. So once you have your 3 chemicals, then you're going to finely grind all the ingredients with like a mortar and pestle, and clean your mortar and pestle in between each different chemical. And then they said you could use a ball mill if needed. I'm not quite sure what a ball mill is, but that's if you're making a lot of it, and that grinds and mixes for you. And then they had the percentages in there. It's like 75, say, saltpeter. 74.8% saltpeter, 13.3% charcoal, and 11.9% sulfur. And then you're going to dampen the ingredients, because when you dampen the ingredients, they're not as volatile. And this is where you have to start being careful. No smoking, no heating around it, no anything like that around your black powder. You dampen the ingredients, and then you mix them together. If you're using the mortar and pestle, you do that for like 10 minutes. And then if you're using the ball mill, you want to mix your charcoal and sulfur first for 4 hours, and then saltpeter, add that, do it for 24 hours. And then they add water to that mixture. Up to 8% of the mixture becomes water. And this will form a ball that's like a thick clay ball. And then you run that through a sieve, like your kitchen sieve, and it'll break it into the little granules that you see. That's how you do gunpowder. I was like, well, that's not as tough as I've seen on everything. I think it's because the guy was trying to use like his own pee and stuff, and he was a wacko. So, yeah.
Sounds like an episode that Bear Giles, he was always running around naked peeing on stuff.
Well, male urine keeps the animals away.
Pea is actually very, very good for citrus. So I'll be using my pea for my citrus trees.
Interesting. Remind me not to eat your citrus if I ever... No, I'm just kidding. No,
if you have you're setting out your chicken coop and stuff like that, plant citrus in your chicken coop, because the chicken manure is fantastic for citrus as well.
There you go. Yeah, we just moved our coop over today and found a nest of like 25 little baby mice living under the feed container. Yeah.
Would have been carnage.
They drowned. Yeah, they all drowned, quite unfortunately.
They went swimming.
Yeah, I made them a pool, and I didn't realize they couldn't get out of there.
They couldn't swim.
So I would have just left the chickens at it.
Yeah, it was behind the chicken coop, we have like the storage thing there, the big like Tupperware container. Yeah, it was back underneath that. So,
okay.
Yeah. We had the coyotes come in at the chicken coop last night, And,
really?
Yeah, and dug out all like under the door and stuff. One of them, I think it was just stress because she wasn't feeling good anyway. So one chicken did die. And so we moved the whole chicken coop over another section so they have fresh green grass and it's not dug out. Yeah. The ground's all, hardened and whatnot there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was awesome. Let me tell you.
I'd imagine. Really?
So. All right. Well, black powder rifles. You ever used one?
I have not. No. There is a black powder club here.
Okay.
And you can go out and actually get dressed up in their.
Oh yeah, like the old 1800s stuff. Yeah.
But, no, I haven't been interested in it, but
me neither.
Maybe I should get interested in it now.
Yeah.
I fired it a couple times. It's pretty cool. It's like this big plume of smoke. You feel like you're like in Revolutionary War or something. when you shoot it, it's like yeah.
I bet that takes the aim down a little bit when it's all smoky all over the battlefield from all that going off.
The fog of war.
Yep. Yeah. No, some of the it was interesting reading about the primers though, because some of the chemicals along the way, the first chemical they had was a mercury, that mercury fulminate or whatever. It was actually making the brass brittle. And so you couldn't reuse the cartridges because it would corrode the brass and make the brass brittle and then the brass would crack. So they started using this other chemical, it was like sulfur or something. And when they switched from black powder to smokeless powder, because the black powder wasn't leaving that residue, it started corroding the barrels really, really badly. And so they figured out that they noticed it more when the black powder residue wasn't there. It was actually protecting the metal, which was really interesting. So now they've switched their formula up altogether, and now they have new green formulas and whatnot, so it doesn't contain heavy metals. And yeah,
still going to be lead though that we're firing. So.
I didn't realize. Well, no, sometimes it's not.
Now they're even plastic or coated or
One thing from Dr. Chamberlain, when I had him on my show years ago, we talked about bullet wounds. A lot of the times he was saying Hollywood is so far off on their bullet wound. We got to get the bullet out of there. No, you don't. You don't have to get the bullet out of there unless it's sitting in a joint and preventing movement or, it's if it's in your heart, you're dead. But you know what I'm saying? You don't, if it's just in your body, you don't necessarily have to remove that. What you want to do is make sure that the clothing and any kind of shrapnel that went in with it is out of there. And then you can just leave that bullet in there and the body will form scar tissue around it. And you won't even get lead poisoning because it forms this protective case around it. And you can live with the bullet in you for forever.
Yeah, I've read that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been crazy cases of people who got shot in the head and never even realized it. And then they had weird headaches and stuff and then figured out that they actually got shot in the head in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I was like, how would you not know that? Oh, there was a commotion in town and I thought I just got hit and you were actually shot in the head. Okay.
What if I told you you could own land for $200 down and highly affordable monthly payments? YourCheapLand.com is your answer to bug out land, hunting, recreation, and whatever else your prepper mind can dream up. YourCheapLand.com has properties in Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, Oklahoma, Arizona, Utah. Go to YourCheapLand.com. Check out the properties, use the promo code PBN, and get $100 off your purchase.
You're listening to PBN. Your path back to stability.
need to do some canning. Big time.
Can't even get canning jars over here at the moment. It's ridiculous.
You can find them. They're not in as abundance anymore over here, but you can still find them. So, but it's not like back in the day when, I mean,
they were everywhere.
Yeah. It was like, and everybody's like, whoa, why would I want that? Okay.
Now everyone.
I did want to actually give a super shout out thank you to Dr. Bones, because I can't remember if I did it last week on the show or not. But Dr. Bones sent me out one of the first aid kits that's in the mole case. And this thing is epically awesome. And yeah. So it's like everything that you need. And I wear this little hip pouch anyway. Ellen's seen it. Oh, you've seen it, Chid, too. My little hip pouch that I wear. Mm-hmm. This will just go right on the other side. And I'm telling you, I could be like walking out in a Walking Dead world with my hip pouch, my knives, my first aid kit. I'm set, dude. I'm set. It's perfect for EDC. Perfect.
And he sent me the latest version of his book, so that's cool.
I know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we're like quite the team. Like if we'll have to like call each other or send smoke signals, and you'll. Yeah. I got the book. You got the hardware. Well.
Yeah. I start walking your way. You start walking mine.
Sounds like a country song.
It is totally a country song. Yeah, for real.
This is truly Australian. We've actually got first aid kits that are just snake bite related.
Yeah, we had them for California too. The the snake bite kits. Yeah. And don't do that. It doesn't work if you try to suck the poison out of somebody else. It doesn't.
Oh, no. Pressure bandage.
Yeah, exactly.
Pressure immobilization.
That's why the tourniquet comes in handy. I mean, they're like $13 or something. They're totally not expensive and 100% worth it. And it would go right into that spot of this kit, which is perfect. But
yeah, I bought one at Zion.
Oh, they have them at Zion? That's right down the street from my house. So, yeah, Zion Survival Store. They don't pay me. They're just awesome. They have Oxen Farms and everything there as well. So if you're ever in, my neck of the woods, you got to stop by Zion. For sure.
I was like a kid in a candy store.
I know. I go in there and just like, I have to look at this, and I have to look at that, and I have to look at this. It's all right there. It's not online having to shop through it, It's like right there. So that's where I got my window breaker for my keychain. Quote.
She said to me, because I want to get a burger to bring back next time I'm over. She goes, just email us a couple of weeks before so we make sure it's in stock for you.
Oh, right on. Yeah, they're the best people. They're so nice, too. I'm sure they have a website, guys, if you want to go check it out. Zion Survival Store or something like that. But it's Zion, Zion. I don't know if they have a website. I never look it up because I can just go to the store. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, they're good stuff. And have you tried out that Alexa Pure, the personal water bottle that I gave you?
No, I put it in a pack.
Oh yeah, in the go bag.
In my pack. So yeah.
I got the one.
Yeah.
I got the one that you got to replace it like the next day. Seriously.
Yeah, I know. After I left.
Yeah, after you left.
It's like,
yeah. So I gave Ellen my used one. It was only used once. But you know how with a Life Straw you'd have to do spit soup, like if you only have a Life Straw in your go bag, and you're going to make dinner, and you want clean water. Well, you have to suck the water up through the spoon and then use that water for your soup, right? Gross. I mean, so I'm always looking for water purification systems that you don't have to literally suck on to make them work. And the Alexa Pure, the water bottle they have with the personal water filter, you can just squeeze it and water comes out of it and it's all purified.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the Life Straw version as well, but
Sawyer has one too.
Yeah, the Sawyer Mini.
It like screws on top of like water, like
Yeah, I bought one of those the
Need
first
bottles
time
and water bottles and stuff.
over
Yeah.
there. What that back?
Well, and the Sawyer Mini too would work. It
Yeah.
has a little bag you hang it. Yeah. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
hmm But this one was pretty cool. I like the Alexa Pure because I have the big
Yeah.
water filter, and so I wanted to try out the little
Yep.
personal water bottle. And yeah, it's good stuff. Recommended for sure. For sure.
There's a lot more companies over here now that, of course, the community is starting to get massive. You can imagine over the last 2 years that
Oh, yeah.
people are starting to really think about
Mhm.
having a little something, some food spare and stuff. And there's a few more companies opening up, so it's they're not comparison with the price. They're still going to be more expensive
Of
than what I
course.
can buy it, even with the money, the dollar rate.
Uh-huh.
But at least they're here instead of having, I've got to go over there to buy it from wherever I need to buy
From
it.
the
If I'm
US. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ellen, the
Yes.
Zion store has a customer loyalty program. Get your points and
Yeah.
save money.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I found their site.
Did you find their site? Awesome. You should
Yeah,
put it up
yeah.
in the chat for everyone.
Yeah. Yep. You get it. What is it? Receive 5 points for every dollar spent.
Yeah. Well, Sarah can have my points, but that's okay.
I'm going to get some Ogson Farm butter. That I was like, oh, okay. I need to
Well,
make sure I can stock up
I
some
had
butter.
when I was in there, they had the red feather butter, the canned butter,
Uh-huh.
and I was so tempted, but I don't think I could have got it through. But I
Through.
didn't tell you this. So all that jerky I bought,
Uh-huh.
confiscated.
Bunch of
No.
Yeah, confiscated at the border.
Oh, dude, it was like $80 worth of jerky, Chin.
Yeah, I was in
Like-
tears.
Good stuff.
They were hungry.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, they were hungry.
Yeah.
There was pork mixed in with it, and we
Oh.
can't bring anything pork related back into the country.
Oh,
Why, even
man.
dead?
I'd have been
Why?
spitting nails.
Yeah, no, I wasn't happy. But now I know for next time, so I won't be doing that, or I'll eat it over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just this absolutely gutted.
Stood there in line and like eat it in front of them.
Right?
I opened the bag, like that bag I had, and she just took it all, and you can't have this.
No.
Uh,
I'd be like stuff in my mouth.
Oh.
But I bought those because we don't have them here. I don't know, see them all in the prepping stockpiling videos. The little cans of the like hot dogs.
Vienna.
Vienna
Vienna
sausage.
sausages.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's what you're bringing home from America. Ugh.
I just interested and like to try out different things. Like I tried the okra
Uh-huh.
and bought a few cans. They were allowed in.
What?
But my jerky, my jerky was not.
Oh,
I'm telling you, the customs station was hungry. They're saying, "Oh, there's some good American jerky.
Uh-huh.
Let's have it."
Yep. I think that's
It's-
exactly what happened.
Gutted. Absolute gutted.
Oh, man. Well, that's okay. This time when you come, we'll go to Buc-ee's. They have even better jerky there. They have like the best jerky there. So
Yeah.
and we can drive and eat it when we're on our way to prepper camp. So
Yeah. Just
yeah.
so lots of lessons learnt from this trip. So
you got your K-bar in last time. So
yeah.
so you can't
knives are
complain.
fine.
Yeah.
Knives are fine. Just as
Not
long as
beef
they're
jerky. No.
Yeah. So the biosecurity, they're just massively, because if we get like foot and mouth disease or freaking any of those livestock diseases here, it'll just decimate. So I mean, we're rabies free. We've been rabies free forever. We've never had rabies on Australian soil. So they're massively concerned about that stuff. But
Fair enough.
I thought that if it was dried and it's already been processed, I could bring it in. But no, you cannot.
But you can bring
bring,
in Vienna sausages. That's fine.
Yeah, because it's canned.
Oh. Okay, we're just going to do
so
some
we need to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Canned
we need
jerky.
To find a source for canned jerky.
Yep. That's exactly where my brain went. I
Or
was like,
can
okay.
of stuff. Get some number 10 cans and just fill
Yeah.
them up and put the lid on.
Well,
Yes.
I want to get a couple of those to bring home too, but the problem is that they've cut international baggage down to 1 bag per person now.
Oh.
2. So I got charged $100 US
Oh,
coming back
Of
by
course.
American for 1 extra bag.
of course.
Worked out to be $145 in my money.
What are your guys' gas prices doing?
Our diesel now is $2.19 a litre, which is what do we work out to? There's
Oh, yeah.
3.5 litres to a gallon, maybe 4 litres to a gallon.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, I just paid $5 and like $5.30 a gallon for diesel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
last
even
week.
ours
this
is like,
past week when I filled up.
our diesel's even up to like $4.19.
Yeah. I cried.
But I saw pictures of gas in Sac, $9 a gallon.
Yeah. I mean, I was supposed to go up to my property this weekend, and I said, I'm not going. I can't go. I cannot afford to go. It's going to be $150 for a tank of petrol.
We were filled up. My friend has like a reserve tank in his pickup truck because he's a long hauler, and it limited out at $125. We had to like stop and then run the cart again and then fill up some more.
Oh my gosh.
We went inside and said you need to recalibrate your pumps because they're not letting you even fill up a tank of gas anymore.
Yeah. Wow.
Or diesel. It was diesel, not
Yeah,
gas.
yeah, the diesel's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all insanity.
Yeah.
So
and then you got premium premium fuel, like your 98% octane or whatever it's called. That's almost $3 a litre.
yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Not
And
good.
I did a Audi shop last weekend, and so with our German Shepherd, she gets like a chicken wing in the morning and at night. It's just from the habit from her previous owner.
Uh-huh.
And the 2 kilogram bags of chicken wings, 2 kilos. What? I can't remember. I don't know what the pound conversion for that is, but it's gone up $2 for chicken wings.
Yeah. I went to the store today because we're out of our half a cow that we had bought. And
Did you buy rice?
what?
Did you buy rice?
Oh, I did. Oh, I bought rice, dude. 50-pound bag of rice. And Tractor Supply has these dog food containers that have the seal safe food lids. So yeah, I got rice for freaking days now. I'm just I can't believe I ran out of rice. It's just an embarrassment.
I was at work listening to the podcast at work, and you said that you ran out of rice. I burst out laughing.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. I know. It's all right. We all make mistakes, you know. Golly.
I'm never going to let you live this down.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Well, no, I'm not going to throw Brack under the bus twice. It's not going to
Twice in
happen.
one show. Holy smokes.
I know. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'll take full responsibility for that one. I should have had a backup bag. I don't know.
I feel like I need a safe space with you two women on this podcast episode.
Oh, do you need your safe zone?
That's right.
Oh. Well, we got to get out of here anyway. We've done enough jaw jackings and diddly squats for one show. So,
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and put the site that I used to reference for that primer. It's a cool PDF download. So if you guys are interested in that, come on over to the blog description and I'll have it over there. Cause I just did like a highlights off of it. And if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty and all the science of it and everything, it's there for you. So good stuff to have in a binder, I guess, like in case you needed it, for the future. So you never know. All right. Well, that about takes care of it. Oh, website is www.changingearthseries.com, changingearthseries.com. So that's where you're going to find it at. Go to the podcast and just go to like latest episodes. You'll find it there. There's buttons all over the place. If you can't figure it out, well, I don't know. All right. So everybody enjoy yourself. Thank you, Ellen, for coming on the show. Always a pleasure, as always.
All right.
When I saw all the Australia stuff, I was like, yep, come on, Ellen. So perfect.
I very rarely have a Monday off. So yeah.
Happy to have you with us. All right. Until next time, remember, dream,
survive,
thrive.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining Sarah and Chen for this episode of the Changing Earth podcast. Don't forget to pick up your copy of Day After Disaster at www.authorSarahFHathaway.com.